Hi guys, welcome to Social Profs. In this video, we'll be discussing the chapter Agriculture. We have divided this chapter Agriculture into 6 topics. The first of them being types of farming. So, as we know, first of all, agriculture is something that is as old as human civilization itself. That is because it is the advent of agriculture, the development of agriculture, that actually differentiated us from the early humans. Because now, we were not hunting or gathering alone and sustaining food only for our families, but now we could grow crops and then sell them in the markets, which actually brought the concept of cities. So, this is the basis of cities, the advent of agriculture. So, agriculture is almost as old as human civilization. So, the first video is on topic types of farming. So, depending on which area you are living in, depending on what the environment factors that are there, depending on what type of technological know-how the farmers have, we may have different types of farming. So, we may have primitive agriculture, we may have intensive subsistence, we may also have commercial farming. This is not an exhaustive list. There are more types of farming, but these are the ones that are prevalent in India. So, primitive agriculture. Primitive agriculture is the most basic form of farming. In this, one farmer will have a small piece of land. In that piece of land, he will remove all the grasses and trees and then clear that patch of land, and on that patch of land he will grow crops. But since he doesn't have a lot of technological know-how, since he doesn't use fertilizers, pesticides, that is why the productivity of the land will be really low. So, the productivity of the land will be low. Also, this practice is something that will feed only his family. It will be very difficult for him to sell it in the market. So, that is why this is only able to sustain his family. And then once he clears and uses those crops, the land loses its fertility and the farmer doesn't know how to initiate the process of regaining that fertility. So, he moves on to another patch of land. So, this way, he is just moving on to other patches of land, growing crops and sustaining the life for his family. So, after that, we have another type of farming called subsistence intensive or intensive subsistence. So, in this type of farming, we have medium productivity, and as the word intensive suggests, this is very labor intensive, and so it will require a lot of labor working on a small piece of or a larger piece of land, but it won't be a huge piece of land. Generally, it is less than an acre or something. In that area, a lot of labor would be there, but technological know-how would not be there still. So he would still be using some fertilizers, but he will not be using modern machineries. The farmers won't be using machineries that give him easier access. Quickly he can harvest the crop. So those technologies will not be there, but still the productivity will be medium because he has a lot of labor with him. So in this subsistence intensive farming, you have medium productivity, and it is quite prevalent in India. So here the farmers are able to sustain their families as well, but they still have some that they can sell in the market. So not a lot, but still some crops they are able to sell in the market and get some profit out of it. So this is something that is largely prevalent in India. So in large parts of India you will see this, but this is not something that will bring large amounts of profit. That type of farming is your commercial farming. So commercial farming is something that is largely done for profits. So here you will have a huge piece of land, and on this land the modern machines will be used. Then here you will have the fertilizers, the pesticides. So in this the main motive of the farmer is to earn profit, not to sustain life for his family. So here also irrigation is highly dependent, because without irrigation you cannot have a lot of crops. So to ensure that there is consistency in the harvesting of crops, you need irrigation. Then here also labor is required a lot, because even though you have the modern machines, but still the land is huge. So this is also labor intensive. But the difference between intensive subsistence and commercial farming is that this has a huge piece of land compared to your intensive subsistence. Then here also you will have high doses of chemicals, fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides. Plus you have your high yield variety of seeds. So these are also used to increase the productivity. So the productivity here is large or high. Then in this commercial farming, there is one specific type of farming called plantation farming. In this plantation farming, you will have everything that you need as a holistic. So you will have your markets as well, very close to the plantation areas. You will have the industries very close to the processing, to the plantation areas. This helps create a network. So this network creates a scenario where the crops are harvested, they are easily sent to the processing industries, and from there they are easily sent to the market. But these crops are not there to sustain the family, the life of the farmers. They are there to gain profits. So this is the commercial farming specific sector, plantation farming. So huge pieces of land and only one crop will be there in that. So generally you will see a lot of migrant labor that is there, because you want cheap labor. Then it is again capital intensive, because you need a huge piece of land, then you need modern machineries, then you need to pay for these migrant labors. So this leads to a situation where it is capital intensive. Okay, large tracts of land, only single crop is grown. So these are some of the highlights that you need to know about plantation farming. So your tea plantations, your coffee plantations, all of them come under plantation farming. So tea in Assam, North Bengal coffee in Karnataka. Okay, so these are the important crops of this plantation farming. So this is all we'll be covering in this video. In the next video, we'll be covering cropping seasons. Thank you so much.